We've been beaming Zoom straight into Facebook. As you can tell, this is not my area of expertise. I think beaming's the right word. Faultlessly, effortlessly for the last fortnight, and then the most important one of the last few sessions for me personally, and it balls up on the tech. So thank you for being so patient with that, and thank you for joining us on this platform. Absolutely brilliant. And I think there's a few reasons why this is so important to me. Brad, you very kindly dropped into a pop-up in Taunton about 2.5 years ago, wasn't it? Obviously, it was a local one for you. And it was a bit unplanned. And I think when you came in the room with Pippa, I saw you walk in the room. And I went, I'm just going to stop what I'm saying now. So I cut off mid-sentence and went, Brad's here, everybody. And I don't think you even had a chance to settle in the room. So so it's good to catch up with you again.
Can I just say something, Simon? What's really interesting about that? You look at how innocuous that is, right? And let me tell you how I found you. I found you you did a Facebook advert that said, we're coming to Taunton. And I said to Pippa, I said, have a chat with these guys, see if there's any angles here. And that was what happened. So if you'd not done the Facebook advert, I wouldn't have seen it. I wouldn't have passed it to Pippa. I wouldn't have attended. Nuts. It's funny how things pan out.
Yeah, isn't it? And I think when you came in that day, I know that it led to some more business for you. And I also know that you made our client, and you also made a couple of people in the room cry. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that goes down as a result. I think that's a good result.
Well, you know, you never set out to make anyone cry, but what you find is when people cry, it's because they've been holding on to something for so long that it's become so painful. And actually, it's a bit like drowning with a pair of gold bars. You know, at some point, you've got to fucking let go of them because you think that these gold bars keep you safe, and actually they just hold you back. And that's what I managed to do. I've realized something, that what a motivational speaker does is they rewind people back to a time in their life when something happened and they didn't learn the lesson. And that's what a motivational speaker does. I've looked and said to myself, how do I work? What is it about when I speak or whatever, do something on stage? What is it that's going on there? And that's what I believe it is. I believe it takes people back to a time when there was a lesson to be learned that they didn't pick it up, and it kind of goes back there. Not everyone's prepared to do that. Not everyone's prepared to go back, but go back we must, because otherwise you'll be holding to gold bars for the rest of your life, drowning slowly.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I've written that one down. Maybe we'll come back to that. I think the other thing that was two other bits that's drawn me to 4N and to you and to the work that you're doing, and again, especially over the last couple of weeks, but for the last couple of years for sure, is that the way that you go about things is different to me. You've got the bits that I'm missing, so I'm really interested in you personally and the leadership style and so on, because it's very different to mine. And I'm learning loads from that.
Tell me what you're missing then. So in terms of what skill do I have that you don't believe you've got?
Hang on a minute. Look, who's doing the questions here? It's supposed to be me, wasn't it? No, it's a nice question. I'm not going to dodge it.
Well, because of Brad Burton. Listen.
All of the people that know you are smiling on the camera now, going, "Yeah, he walked straight into that one."
No. Listen, it's an interesting one, because what we do, we find people who have skills that are that we lack, we're attracted to. So, say go to partners. My wife is an introvert, like massively introvert. On a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of 10 being high introvert, 1 being low, she's an 8 or a 9. Equally. You know, what she likes about me is the confidence. And if it wasn't for me, I wouldn't have dragged it into environments that she'd never have dreamed of doing, if that makes sense. That sounds worse than 10 as well. I'm not doing very well, you know. but
lots of double entendres tonight.
Yeah. But, you know, we I think that's what it is. I think it appeals. I think skills that people have do appeal.
I think it's yeah, just to answer your question, I think, thanks for giving me some thinking time as well, by the way. The thought that struck me was it's the boldness, it's the directness, and you're very, very good at getting right to the point and delivering it in a way that makes people sit up and listen. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm drawn into you. You know,
this, the clock's ticking, right, mate? One day, when you see people with formality, fucking eating fucking food with the cutlery on the left, or having to do some pomp and ceremony for morning tea, it's like, what the fuck is going on? You look at this COVID thing and some stuff that we've all, like, everything that we kind of knew just thrown out the window. I'll give you an example. So Richard Branson, you know, he's got millions of pounds, great. And actually he's now looking for a bailout from the government. So at what point, when you've got millions or billions of pounds, do you start relaxing and enjoying your life, right? You're still in the same fucking headaches that any of us have as a small business owner. So this whole thing about time is so important. And I think we spend too much time trying to almost be liked by everyone. And consequently, we're wasting time, i.e. our life, on being something that we're not, to fit in. And I realised all my life I've tried to fit in, and I never did. I've been an outsider all my life, and for the first time in my life, I'm now an insider surrounded by all you outsiders. And that's the great thing about it, is that when you can find proper peace with your life and proper contentment with your life, is when you stop having to fucking worry about what other people think. You know, as long as you're not going out there and you're not bombing orphanages, you know, you're behaving yourself, then actually life's good. And I think that's what I've managed to find in myself. I've managed to find contentment and peace being myself.
Okay. That completely resonates with me. I think I'm still on the journey, if I'm honest. I think there's still a little bit of me going, you know, I'll say that bit here and I'll do that bit there. And there's still a bit of conforming going on. My business partner, by the way, isn't. He's going the other way. He's conforming less and less as every day ticks by. So there's something about the way that he operates that's got a lot of synergy. Say again?
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 45.
Right. So,
I know that comes as a shock to everybody.
Yeah,
because you thought I was much younger.
But listen, it's one of those ones that you waste your life trying to conform and to appease people, and then you realise that all you've got is one life. I couldn't give two shits. And actually, what's interesting about it is when you think about me speaking at the highest level, get your bingo cards out, people. You know, JCB cost a zero, the list does go on. But when you start looking at that there, and you start thinking, I'm genuinely writing it down. But when you start looking at that there, at the highest level in the UK, I tip up wearing jeans, trainers, and t-shirt. Yet I was told that the only way that I'd get booked is by three-piece suit, pocket watch, being an orator. And actually, you know, I don't sound like I used to as a kid. I'm a kid, proper, right? But what I've done is I'm still Mancunian, I'm still Northern, I'm not putting a daft posh voice in. And I tell you, I swear to you, and you realise you're 47, you know, so many people that I meet, older people, they kind of come to this realisation so far late in life. And I kind of came to it about 42. Actually, people don't like me, fuck off. There's a big wide world out there of people that do like me for being me. And the only way it's like a 50 pence piece. You know, people that don't like me would say I'm aggressive, I'm sweary, I'm northern, I'm unprofessional, People who like me would say he's generous, he's warm, he's friendly, he's protect, whatever, right? Two sides of the same coin. So the only way that I can appeal to these people that think I'm now loud, northern, aggressive, the only way that I can appeal to them is by changing who I am, which doesn't appeal to me, but also then you lose all the people that like you for being the other side of that coin. And this is the problem in life, is that I've got my people that like me for being me. So honestly, it's wonderfully liberating, but we'll get to that.
The thing that went through my mind about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, as we started to think as an events company, you know, that Monday just before the lockdown, when we had 180K's worth of business evaporate in front of our eyes in about 2 hours, when all of our summer events got cancelled, you know, we went through this, you know, obviously like a process of shock and like, what are we going to do? And then pivot and then get creative, make things happen, do things different. As we were doing that, I log onto my Facebook and here's a picture of Brad joining, like asking us to join the resistance, or the resistance begins now. And I'm really interested to know what the thought processes you've been through since all this stuff has happened. There we go. There we go. I haven't got one of these. I need to get one of these. What happened? What happened when it started to roll for you? What thought processes did you go through, and what was those first few days like?
So let me tell you something. I was panic buying before it was cool to panic buy. Trust me, I was 6 weeks out. So when everyone else is all panic buying like 2-3 weeks ago, I was there 6 weeks ago because I was listening to LBC, Wuhan or whatever it's called. And I've played enough computer games in my life to know that actually without a cure, it's getting to us. That's the reality of it. So I was genuinely, panic buying. You know, when I say panic buying, I wasn't hoovering up all the baby milk to repurpose.
It was you then.
The guilty as charged. But listen, I wasn't panic buying when everyone else was queuing up or weeks before. I was way out, right? So I started getting cans and Bachelor Savoury Rice, big up the massive. And, it was one of those ones where I kind of anticipated this. So my business, for networking, we run 5,000 meetings across the UK, face-to-face meetings every single year. Well, we did until COVID-19 turned up, and all of a sudden, you're not allowed to go out, so bang, your businesses fell off. Multi-million-pound business, interest gone, finished, over, done, instantly. So you can sit there panicking, going, oh, shit. Oh, we know it's out of order. What's Rishi Sunak going to do? Let me explain something. Rishi Sunak, great speech, fabulous chancellor, I thought exceptional. And every single one of those grants and all this stuff, every single one we've managed to definitely avoid, right? Not a single bean. So we are left on our own, and we can sit there going, well, what are you doing for us? And the FSB say that they're going to speak to Richard. They're fucking not going to speak to no one, right? You can't do nothing, right? The reality is they've got bigger fish to fry, and they'll be having meetings with the Chamber of Commerce about what they think the people should do. So the reality is, it is down to us. We are on our own. Every single individual is on our own. You can sit there all day long and try to pretend that the government are going to bail you and me out the 8. That's the reality of it. So actually, you had two options. One, start going, oh my God, my business has failed. And I described it the other day as holding a load of ice cubes. Well, I'm going to keep hold of it. He's going to keep hold of it. I'm going to keep hold of it. And then comes summertime, you go, where's my ice cubes? Finished. So I realised we was in a war zone, and I had to get myself into a war zone. Now, you know, one of my mentors, get your bingo cards out, is the Special Forces, Rusty Furman, SAS man. And what he said to me, he's the guy that the film 6 Days was based on Netflix, the Reagan Embassy. So he said to me, he said, you know, you cannot delegate responsibility, right? He said, you cannot delegate responsibility. Let those fucking words ring through your head. You cannot delegate responsibility. So whatever shit you've got to do, you've got to do it, right? Al's got his bingo balls there, people. If you can have a look, Al Price, the Brad bingo balls. You know, so you've got this whole situation, right? You've got this whole situation where you've got to rely on self. So I got myself into a war footing. Now, let me tell you something. 2 weeks ago, I went to buy some food from the farm shop. Went there, bought some food, and the woman behind the counter started going, right? As soon as she started coughing, if she's not coughing, what the next chain of events wouldn't have happened? She started coughing. So I got all the food from the farm shop and vegetables. I rang my wife and says, listen, I said, I'm coming home now. Do me a favour, clear the island off. I'm going to put island posh. Right, clear the island off. I'm going to put all my fruit and veg on there, and I want you to wash it. So she did that, and I took all my clothes off in the kitchen, flirted all my clothes, nude, put them in the washing machine, washed it, put the plastic bags in the wood burner, and pissed off upstairs. Now, if I'd have done that before, you know, everyone was talking about COVID, if I'd have done that action, everyone would have gone, you are tapped, Brad. Same goes for your business. If you are still using your business like it was six weeks ago, now you're fucking tapped. Because the world has changed. In the same way, me taking my clothes off 6 weeks on is perfectly acceptable. 6 weeks ago, I've been tapped. If you're still running your business the way you were 6 weeks ago, you're going to fail. That's the reality of it. Because right now, I'm telling you something. There's going to be losers, big losers, winners, and big winners. And I want you to be on the column of a big winner. And the way you're going to do that is by doing what I'm doing right now with this. Right? This is a fucking war zone. So you can treat it like the old ways, or being, you know, your pearls and twin set, and everything's very formal and so forth. Or you can say, you know what, I'll get my fucking tin hat on, I'm going to go and do something about this situation, which is exactly what we did. 14-year business, boom, gone overnight. Nothing that I'd done, nothing that my staff had done, no misappropriation of funds, fuck all, COVID-19, and then the government not being able to help us. Gone. So we had to change instantly, and that's exactly what we did. And we've managed to do for networking, 5,000 meetings across the UK. It took us 4 years to get to 120 meetings. First year was 12 meetings, second year was 25, next year was 56, then it was 120 year 4. We've done that within 3 weeks online, 4nonline.biz. Do check it out, put a link on the side, please. But, you know, we've done it. So we've done 4 years of work. What took 4 years first time round, 14 years later, we've done it in 3 weeks. And that is experience. That's what allows you to make decisions faster. And that's exactly what I stand for, making better decisions faster.
So one of the things that that links, I think, PopUp's approach to what 4N's done. I keep hearing you say, I think I read it in the book, Get Off Your Ass, the first book that you wrote. Was that the first one? That was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the first
there's
one.
something in there that you get, I think maybe I've seen it on live streams as well. They said I was mad. They kept saying we were mad. They kept saying we were mad to combine social with business. Is that stuff more important online? It's the same as what you were doing before. Exactly. It's just as important, or is it more important now?
So when I started for networking, 50% social, 50% business, and it works. And actually, everyone said, "Oh, you crackers, business networking needs to be 100%." Well, let me tell you something. 14 years on, while we're all locked down, business networking does not need to be 100%. We are 50% social, 50% business. And there's people on here who are Star Wars fans, and I know them for being Star Wars fans. Trekkies, on the other hand, they've been banned, not interested in Star Trek. But, you know, that's the glue that holds us together. Don't do that, Simon. That's the glue that holds us together. That's the glue that holds us together, the social bit, right? Because actually, when it gets tough, like in times like this, and it gets tough, if the only motivation is money, it's not enough. If, however, the motivation is camaraderie, if the motivation is belonging to something bigger, then it is. Then you know, money is the secondary, and that's what we've managed to do with For Networking. Our primary focus was on members first. Get the members bit right, and the money in the business will follow. Most other formal business networks are about business. Get the business right. And if you become friends, now when I started For Networking, 50% social, 50% business, 14 years ago, right? Social networking. Look at it, social networking. Social networking, that's what we do all day long, social networking. I was on this 14 years ago and people said I was crazy. Now this 50% social, 50% business thing is fucking mustard, because like I say, business is like, yeah, once you've done business with somebody, so what? It's actually where you can go from here, because as you start getting older, your friends start dying, you start immigrating, you start getting married and no longer playing out. And actually your friendship will go smaller and smaller and smaller, but not with For Networking online. You know, it goes bigger and bigger and bigger. There's people on here right now who have stayed at my house who have got drunk and we fell over. I've got them into headlocks and told them I love them, right? You know, over at KFC. There's numerous
I've not had the pleasure yet, but I've got that on the list now.
Well, you're more than welcome to join us. We'd have when as soon as this comes back, by the way, this falls over, we're having the biggest fuck off post-COVID party. Trust me, I'm getting all my now waters and all the For Networkers, and we're having a big fuck off party. We're going to get schooled and we're going to have KFC, even though I'm a vegetarian now. That's from 8 weeks ago. And I'm going to put you all in a fucking headlock. You know, people, you know, we as a collective are stronger than me, and that works beautifully, more than ever before, when you've got thousands of members around the UK and you've got a founder in the form of me that doesn't give the big one, doesn't loud it around, doesn't do this, that and the other. It says something that, once again, you know, the old conventional way of being an MD is me with a fucking 3-piece suit and a pocket watch and a 5 Series outside, you know, walking around saying morning Janine with a briefcase. And actually, it's just bollocks. We're all people. Every one of us shits. Every one of us farts. Everyone's picking our nose when no one's looking. Okay, not me, but you know what I'm saying? No, but you see what I'm saying? We're all just humans, but what we've ended up doing is putting these business owners, these business leaders on pedestals. Richard Branson, oh, Alan Sugar, fuck off. Stop it. Put yourself on a pedestal. You know, that's what I do. So, you know, in the greatest respect, I've got as much respect for Richard Branson as I have for any single individual in this room. I treat everyone the same with respect, and if people don't like that, and if you believe it should, you know, be hoity-toity to someone, well, you're the wrong person. Go and find someone else to do it. I'm not that guy, doffing caps. So I treat everyone the same with respect, regardless of the status, and that's exactly what I stand for. Fight for the underdog, always. But
Brad, there's a bunch of questions that I want to ask you. I also want to invite the people that have given up their time to show up and find out more about what this is all about. You know, if you've got a question for Brad or for me, or if you want us to chat about something, then please stick it in the group chat. We'll get to it. Before we dive into there's a few questions from the pop-up crew that they've sent us over the last couple of days when they found out that we were going to have a chat. I'd love to get to, but before we get there, I want to talk about the online, the 4N online stuff, yeah. And we've put a link in the chat.
Thank you.
Every single person that's been to a pop-up business school event should be clicking on that link and getting involved in your networking. And we're going to send the link out because we've always said that we provide a really nice sort of nurturing spot for people to test their ideas and get them going. But we want people to get out into the big wide world and go and make friends with and add value to and, you know, and chat to and find out more about lots and lots of other businesses out there. And 4N is the place to do it. What can people expect if they get involved in what in your spectacularly quick pivot? What happens with online?
You know, this isn't just like I say, this is 14 years of heritage. This isn't a 3-week-old business. This is a 14-year of heritage that allows me to tell you that 4Networking stands up. When I started 4Networking, I was sat in my box room in my underpants, aggressively waiting for the phone to ring. I spent 600 quid on a Yale.co.uk advert, right? And actually, you know, then you've spent 600 quid because the salesperson says, oh, you get 13 leads a month. And I'm thinking, oh, I've got to convert one of them and it pays for itself. Yeah, no fucking leads. You've just been sold a pup, but you've got a lovely little square on a fucking dickhead website that no one visits. And it's the kind of stroke that, you know, when you're new to business, you end up falling for this shit. And I ended up falling for all these little scams, daft adverts in magazines that were going nowhere and wasn't getting just all this shit that you believe in. It's like that. It's like fucking crossing your fingers, like a lottery ticket every time you do marketing. And I went along to these networking events, and the best way to describe them was in political terms. You had the loony left and you had the hardcore right, where, you know, loony left, nothing quite happened. It was all very nice, Chablis and vol-au-vents. And it's like a school disco, everyone sat around the outside waiting for somebody to have a dance. And then you had the hardcore right, where's your leads, where's your referrals, you've got to attend, you've got to bring visitors, get to fuck. So I'm thinking, where was the mainstream? Right? Where was the mainstream of business networking? It never existed. So I was just a one-man band marketing firm, and I realised that I used to bang the phones, right, and I hated it. So just be quite clear, didn't enjoy cold calling whatsoever. So the way I used to do it is I also didn't enjoy my wife pecking me fucking head saying, when's the mortgage money? So it was the worst of two evils. So I'd rather ring someone than have to deal with a wife squawking. So I'd pick the phone up, 109876544321. Hi, it's Brad here from Folk Consultancy. We're a full-service new media creative design agency. I'd love to come and see you. And eventually you did that, and I got meetings. Then they'd arrange it in 4 weeks' time. I'd go and get my suit, my cheap suit out of the dry cleaners. I'd go and get my fucking rust-covered M-Ridge Omega, park down to the meeting half a mile away, get out of the passenger seat because I was embarrassed for the fucking dinger, and I'd walk to the meeting in my cheap suit, and I'd sell some stuff, some websites or whatever. And you'd have sometimes you'd go to have these meetings, and then 2 minutes in of that meeting, you recognise something that they can't stand you and you can't stand them, but don't worry, we've got 58 minutes of bullshit to go. And actually, that was the inefficient way of doing meetings, and eventually you'd get a fit, and it was good. Now, with phone networking, when I looked at these networks, there was none joined up. So I've got a PC here. No matter how powerful my laptop is, right, I'd rather have one that was half as powerful plugged into the internet than one that was twice as powerful not plugged into the internet, right? You know, that you could use on the internet. And that's what I saw. I saw the opportunity. And these networks were Taunton groups. The other ones, you can't go, Taunton group can't speak to the fucking Bridgewater group can't speak to the Western Super. And I'm like, that's nuts. Why can't you join them up? Well, because competition is bad. I don't get it. I've worked with people. And so it's been sold as a pub. So bottom line is, started this phone networking. We had, like I say, 250 groups a fortnight. And as a member, you could go anywhere. So you could go to Bradford, Scotland, Manchester, wherever you wanted as a member. No one had ever done that before. So that goes kaput, pretty much. We put it on ice because of this COVID thing. And then we created this phone N online. So tomorrow, I'm speaking at a phone networking meeting. So it's 4nonline.biz. And what we've done, we've changed the game. I've lowered my prices by 42%. 42%, lowered the prices by 42%, lowered the meeting by, I think, 53% or something like that. Right? We've lowered the prices because we're going mass market. So what we do before networking, it's $19.99 to join for a month, and you can go to as many networking meetings as you want online. So this, using our phone networking format, imagine, that's what we do. So the average numbers have been 25 all week. Next week, we've got 60 groups running. This week, we've got 47 groups running. Last week, when we launched it, 36. Right? It's fucking, they're new groups. This thing is going off big time. So if you're in business right now and you sat there waiting for your phone to ring or waiting for your email to happen, why? You know, at some point, you are going to have to get stuck in. And this is what I'd rather do. I'd say to you, you might as well go out through a fucking headshot rather than a leg wound. And so many business owners are going, well, I need to save my money now. It's a bit like fucking holding your breath to save oxygen. Fucking either do it, succeed, or fucking don't. What do they say? At the end of this time, you're going to have losers, big losers, winners, and big winners. And I'll tell you something, the big winners are going to be those ones who get stuck in now, not the ones who wait for Richie Sunak to send them a fucking grant. So, you know, phone networking online has changed the game completely. We are globally the biggest fucking networking meetings in the globe, and that's after 3 weeks because no one's ever done it before. No one's ever thought about doing it like we've done it. But the only reason I can do that is because fucking amazing teams. There's lots of them on here right now that I've met in real life. If I was Brad Burton and nobody knew me, I said I'm going to do 5 networking. How are you going to find team members, loyal team members, people that you know from around the UK that you met in real life? You ain't going to. So we are in a really luxurious position. And what I will say about this COVID thing, if it wasn't for people dying, then, you know, I think this is a good thing for the world. I've got type 2 diabetes. And the reason I got type 2 diabetes is because I was a silly dickhead and I like Jaffa cakes. You know, it was nothing to do with thyroid. You know, as much as I'd like to blame, well, my dad, it's hereditary. No, it's not. It's fucking cakes. Right? And I ended up, what's happened is you have a situation where I've got type 2 diabetes. The world has got type 2 diabetes. We've just got too bloated and just overconsumption, tearing the arse out of it. No one gives a fuck. Next generation will deal with it. And I think that this whole COVID thing has given us a fresh agenda to look at this world and look at our time. you know, look at our time. So previously I was driving up and down the UK, visiting for networking meetings. The most I've ever done in 1 week is 13. I've drove 1,200 miles, £600 worth of hotels, £400 worth of fuel to do that, make it happen. Now, from the comfort of my own home, I can do 4 networking meetings, 7, 8, 9, 10 a day, and so forth. Honestly, game changer, absolute game changer. This is a bit where you speak, Simon, with your mute off. B minus. I can pad if you want. It's died. So let me say something else interesting. So this whole COVID situation is is one of those ones where the worst days in my life, 1995, 2nd of January, I got shot at in Manchester. And actually, you could not have told me that that was a good thing. I was depressed, moved to Somerset, and I was just, I wasn't in a great place. And I see you back, Simon. But what happened was, with this whole situation was it allowed me to start again. I didn't see it for about 4 or 5 years, but it allowed a fresh start. And this is what I'd say to you. I always ask this question, whenever the shit is the fan in our lives, what does this make possible? And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be still here now to the pop-up. I wouldn't be written all these books. I wouldn't have met so many people and so many lives that have been impacted. My mum said to me at Christmas, we got drunk on a brandy, which I'm empty of. And she said to me, Brad, do you know you was an accident? I said, go on. No, you was an accident. I got pregnant. Me and your dad weren't right. And your sister or your older brother was 9 years older than you. Your sister was 8 years older than you. I didn't want any children with your dad. He was a tyrant. And I got pregnant. And I wasn't sure if I was going to keep you or not. And she said, I'm being honest with you. She went, I'm so glad I did, because you ended up changing my life, and you ended up changing my life and direction in a way that you give me purpose. So I'm so glad that you, although it was an accident, was a happy accident. And she said, look at the impact that you've had in this world, that you've had as a result of that happy accident, whether it's your book, speaking, I thought, fucking hell. Now, every one of us has got a story like that. Every one of us has got a story where, you imagine if this world where, if I wouldn't have been here, like, there'd be no 4 networking, there'd be no 4 books, there'd be no speaking, there'd be no, like, the world would have been a different place. Now, that's my story, but the same goes for you. You've impacted on people as well, whether it's children, whether it's family, whether it's people you've met, people you've supported. And once you realise that whole part of your life, that actually you've had an effect, or you've been, you've made a difference, it makes everything a whole lot easier to deal with. Over to you, Sam.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you a couple of questions. One was about impact. I guess what was in my mind, we chatted about when we were messing about with this Zoom thing earlier on, we chatted about a couple of members in your team. And whenever I tune in, you're always very gracious in your praise for the team that you work with. And I think it's the wider team, not necessarily the core group of 4N. But what would you say? Like, there's a lot of guys here that are watching this and that will listen and watch this tomorrow and beyond, that will go, well, I haven't got a team. It's just me on my own at the moment. What do you say to those guys?
So where do you think I got my team? What did I say before? There's no cavalry. There's no cavalry unless you create it, right? Every single fucking one of my team, I didn't have some special fucking cupboard that they get them out of. My co-directors were just people that I met. Every single co-director on my team is someone that I just met for networking. So what is it? Do you reckon I've just got this talent spot and ability, or maybe there's talent out there, and you can find like-minded people to support you in your vision and what you're trying to do, whilst you support them in theirs. So that's well, I don't have any investments to start a business. Well, neither do I. Well, I don't have any qualifications. Well, neither do I. I've got a face like a potato. I've got one of them. But the thing is, this is like where people use excuses. Well, I've not got a team. Fucking 25 grand in debt, delivered pizzas. There you go. Well, 25 grand in debt, delivered pizzas, right? Delivered pizzas, no qualifications, addicted to drugs twice. My dad left when I was 6 months old. Fucking brought up on council estates. My mum brought me up as a single parent, and I've done 4 years on benefits. And delivered pizza 31. And I got shot at. So what's your excuse? Writing books. Well, I've not got a degree in writing. Well, neither have I. So we end up finding that the reason that stops us from succeeding is us that stops us from succeeding. When I was unemployed, the person at the dole office or whatever, the benefits thing, that you go to job seek or something, she suggested to me that I start my own business off twice. Me, start a business off? Don't talk daft. What? Like fucking just, and it's about this. It's how you think about the world. And if you think like a dickhead, guess what? You're going to get dickhead results. And actually, if you think about me as a young man when I was 21 years old, I used to walk around with a scowl on my face. What are you looking at, Simon? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? I was like, what the fuck's that about? But you do that because you think it protects you. And in business, people do that as well. People hide behind shite like business plans, right? You might as well have a foreword by J.K. Rowling. They're a work of fucking fiction. Because, the only reason you have a business plan is to go to the bank, go and get a load of fucking money. But it's a fucking myth. I've never had a bean from the bank, not a fucking shilling from the bank. No grants, no fucking handouts, no fuck all. And I've done okay. You know why? Because they've got three things: ideas, vision, and belief. Right? That's what you need. You need fucking belief. And if you ain't got belief, right, beyond a fucking flimsy piece of paper and a business plan, you're fucked. Because somebody comes along like me who's actually got belief, and true drive. I don't care how clever your business plan looks, you're getting fucking done. So this is what people need to stop doing. People need to stop hiding behind this formal bullshit academia about what business is. Business is buying something for 50 pence and selling it for £1. And actually, that's the simplicity of it. And people make it more complicated than it actually is.
Brad, Terry put a message in the chat, and it reminds me of a couple of other questions that we've had from the pop-up crew over the last couple of days. So Terry was saying that he felt down today, no exit strategy from the lockdown, but has since reflected and decided that he's planning more to run as soon as the lockdown ends and so on. We've had a few other people go, my mojo is affected. I don't feel motivated at the moment. I'm worried, or maybe if they did have belief, then what they're doing is they're self-sabotaging that self-belief right now. What do you say to them?
This is a tough time for anyone. Okay, tough time for anyone. I got a friend of mine who's a boxer, a professional boxer, and if I punched him as hard as I could in the face, he would laugh at me, like genuinely. My hand would break and he would laugh at me. Genuinely, he would laugh, go ha ha ha, right? If he punched me in the face, I'd be on the phones rolling around, blood everywhere. Now, I asked my friend, I said, how many times have you been punched in the face? And he laughed. I said, no, I'm serious. He said, 10,000 times. Now, the first time you get punched in the face, it's like, he's oh my God. 10,000 times, it's like, fucking okay, I've been in pain now, I need to move out of the way. And that's the same principle with business. The first time you get punched in the fucking mouth, it's devastating. The first time you get ripped off, devastating. The first time somebody who was once a friend turns you over, devastating. The fucking 10th time it happens, it's just the 10th time it happens. So let me ask you a question to every single individual that's on here right now. Okay, 3 questions that are going to kind of put this in perspective about this COVID shit. 1, are you going to fucking starve to death? No. 2, are you going to lose your house or mortgage? No. Might you get a snotty letter from a landlord or the fucking bank? Yes. But guess what? It's a snotty letter. When I get a snotty letter from the bank or whatever, I go, oh, look, a snotty letter from the bank. When my wife gets a snotty letter from the bank, shit, we're going to lose the house, right? The fucker's like, fuck it, snotty letter, got 6 months. So the 3rd one, are you going to die through COVID-19? Now, as long as you all fucking wash your hands and behave yourself and don't go out and don't be fucking stupid, then you're not going to die. So 1, you're not going to starve to death. 2, you're not going to lose your property. 3, you're not going to die. Let me tell you something, there'll be someone in a fucking ICU right now who would bite your fucking hand off for your position. So don't you fucking dare start feeling sorry for yourself. Don't you dare start going, oh yeah, maybe shut the fuck up and put it in perspective, right? There'd be someone who'd be fucking struggling to breathe right now that just can't get a ventilator. And you've got a problem with an invoice that needs paying in 2 weeks' time, stop it, right? And it's a bit raw, but stop it. Because this is what you need to do. What they say, this is a war zone right now, and you need to start, once again, stop thinking about how it used to be. Yeah, but 6 weeks ago, we had a contract for 180 grand. Well, you did. 20 years ago, I had a fucking hair, and it's like, you can sit there wishfully talking about when someone used to, have a hair and abs. I never got 2, by the way, never got the 6-pack, but it's another conversation.
There's still time.
No, there's not, mate, because you know why? Because I like pizza too much, and that's the fucking thing. See, I can sit there all day long going, you know what, I'd love to have abs, looking at Muscle Fitness magazine, or I can turn around and say, I like pizza too much. And life's about choices. Life is about choices. If you don't want to fucking have your own business and go through the shit that we're going through right now, go and get a job. Good luck with that. Because if you think you've got problems right now, try being fucking furloughed as a member of staff. See, so you put this in perspective, running your own business, you know exactly where you are, skint, get fucking used to it, but you're not going to starve to death.
Well, I think if there's a long list of excuses, they've just evaporated, haven't they?
Well, mate, but the thing is, I used to be that guy. So look at me, right? So one side of the paper, Brad Burton, former drug addict, 4 years on benefits, fucking got shot at, addicted to drugs twice, no qualifications, fucking brought up on council estates. Brad Burton, entrepreneur, author, motivational speaker, father, businessman, husband, you know, like, what the fuck? What changed from that fucking dickhead to this one? Right? What changed? What changed? I'll tell you what changed. Did I realise that I was waiting for a Sky Daddy or someone to knock on my doorbell, ding dong, door open, there's a big bag of £50 notes and a fucking opportunity. I was waiting for that, genuinely waiting for somebody when my ship comes in. Your ship ain't fucking coming in, right? Sitting there all day long waiting for your ship to come in. You'll be waiting like, oh, it's fucking ready. It ain't coming in. So you've got to go and make it happen. And that's what I'm talking about. Make it happen. Right, sorry, Helen.
I guess a linked question is a slightly different angle. So Teresa from the Pop-Up crew asked a question about moments of self-doubt, weakness. And I think that, you know, that thing where you look at other people doing business and you think, yeah, they're doing it better than me. And there's already lots of people doing what I do. And you know, that thing where we compare ourselves to other people. Can you talk to that for a second?
So here's where people go wrong, right? So if you think about a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being up here, Alan Sugar, right? Fucking Richard Branson, Grant Cardone, Anthony Robbins, and then you're here, no one, looking up, oh, I'd love to be like Grant Cardone, love to be like Richard Branson, love to be shut the fuck up, right? Absolute nonsense. Right, you're never going to be them. And actually, do you want a private island? Because let me tell you something. I've been on a private island. Right? I've been on a private island. Well, it was private until 7,000 people got off the fucking ship. Right, at which point it's just like every other beach you've ever been to. Right. So the whole thing about this, it comes to something when we end up comparing our lives to other people. Look at Richard Branson. Shut up. Compare your life to your life. So my life, Brad, the guy who's addicted to drugs, living in a fucking masonette above a chipper, to me now, like. When does it end? Because we end up in our lives going, oh, my life's going to be good when I get a 40-inch television. Then it's a 60, then an 80, then 100. Then you want a fucking 100-inch curve. Then you want a fucking 40-foot cinema screen. And my life's going to be happy when I get married, when I get a baby, when we get a fucking new house, when I get a new job, when I get a contract. And you spend your fucking life chasing this bullshit that you're never going to reach. Right? Right now, people, you've got something that someone in a fucking hospital ward doesn't have. Right? Seriously, fucking start being thankful for what you've got. Look around you. Look around those people around you. Look around your house. Look about the fact that you've got heating. Look about the fact that you've got a bed. Look at the fact that you've got windows. Look at the fact, and be thankful for what you've got. So stop comparing your life to other fucking people. Compare your life to your life, right? That's what you can do. So if I was to look at me now and Richard Branson, I'd be like a 3 out of 10 on their scale, or 2 out of fucking 10. But me compared to Brad Burton, the former drug addict, who was a 1 or a 2, I'm a 10. So I walk around in my mind's eye like I'm a fucking 10. In my mind's eye, I walk around with my shoulders back and whatever because I'm confident. A guy who used to be in fucking council estates and achieve what I've done, I'm confident. But if I compare myself to Richard Branson, hello sir, fuck off. Nonsense.
Kerry feels like her dad's having a go at her. I feel like she's getting motivated though, and she wants to know, why did you get shot at? Did you want to answer that, or should we move on?
No, I can answer it. I mean, it's not a great story. You know, I could come up with some bullshit romantic vision about fucking me fighting back against some drug dealers or whatever. But no, it was not a nice, pleasant story. And read it in chapter 2 of Get Off Your Ass. But because it's just not, it'll just bring the tone down completely. But not a nice story at all, in any way or form. No good came from it. But it's one of those ones where every single secret or skeleton that I've got in my cupboard, right? Every single one of them is in these books. There is nothing that the Mail Online can print about me that I can say, I wrote about that in 2016, wrote about that in 2014. So I've done that on purpose so that, you know, if it happens, if it end up going fucking mainstream, which is TV companies talking to us and stuff, then no one's got anything on me because I've been really honest about everything about my background. So by all means, if you want to read it, in fact, if you're on Spotify, go and find it. Get Off Your Ass 2, TOOO. It's on Spotify. My audiobooks, read them about 10 years ago. And you can get a free version of that, but then listen to chapter 2 and you'll hear why I got shot at.
We'll put the links in the post when we stick it on our website. So on the Pop-Up Business School website, we're going to post this video in its entirety. We're going to chop it up into little bits as well and share bits with you, Brad, if you want to use them. But
Cool.
On that guide, we're adding content every single day, and it's designed to support people in money, mental health stuff, business stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff going through there. So that's where we're going to put this. And we'll put the links to the books and the links to the 4N online website on there as well. The question that was in my mind, though, just based on what you said, was I wonder, was there a mentor? Was there someone that said something to you that changed everything, or is it? Did you just get there through grit and determination? What happened in those early days? There's a point to the question, you'll see.
No, I get it. So there's lots of things, sentences that have changed my life, right? I don't mean prison sentences, but sentences that have changed my life. When I was 27 years old, one of my mentors, my original mentor, he said to me, he was a millionaire, business guy, 6'5", fucking big lump, tattoos on his hands, but he actually, done Boston and stuff, and he's actually got himself legitimised businesses, like proper legitimised PLC businesses and stuff. And they took me under his wing, and his words were, "You're either going to be an amazing success or in a gutter on drugs." That's what he said to me. And he said to me, he said, "You do realise, Brad," he called me a Brad Grenade. And we used to go out to these private members club, and he'd like buy everyone drinks, 800 quid a night, 1,500 quid. And I'm like fucking skint, and I'm going out with these guys. And it's like, fucking, this is amazing. At like Soho House, private members clubs, like with TV stars and stuff. And it's just me, like in a cheap suit. And I was just like, whoa, this is amazing. And he said to me, he said, "You do realise," he called me a Brad Grenade. And I went, "What's that about?" He said, "You do realise that, like fucking what you do." I went, "What are you on about?" He said, "You do realise what a complete fucking nut job you come across as, don't you?" I went, "What are you on about?" He said, "You've got no idea that you come across as a complete fucking head the ball." I went, "Mate, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "What the fuck?" And it's a bit like saying to a fish, "What's the water like?" And the fish says, "What fucking water?" I had no idea that I was this guy. I was just me being me. And he said to me, he said, "Yeah," he said, "what I do with you, Brad, is I throw you into rooms full of strangers, and you end up getting them all talking within like fucking 10 minutes, and all best mates, and all fucking what a party in the up till 4 o'clock in the morning." And that's what he used to do. He used to send me to people, the business owners that he wanted to work with, and I didn't realise I was chatting them up or whatever. And that was our kind of first like indication that actually maybe that's what my skill was bringing people together. People, managing to, because I've got no filter, managing to effectively take down guards off people. And as long as it wasn't nefarious circumstances that you were trying to take down guards for, I was good with it. And then the other thing that I was really good at was creating communities online. I used to do computer game forums, and I used to own them. I'd go onto them, and within 2 or 3 days, it was like mine. And so it was that whole community. I was obviously good at building communities and building something out of nothing. But sentences that have changed my life. Yeah, my wife said to me, we nearly had a divorce 8 years ago. And she said to me, I was in a big posh house. I ended up crying. So whatever, 8 years ago, 39. And we ended up crying, and we had a divorce lawyer booked. And she said to me, she says, "I understand how we got here. I understand how we got here." It's a great line. Because actually what she should have said is, "There's your bags, fuck off." But she didn't. She said, "I understand how we got here." And that sentence changed my life, because I didn't understand. I didn't have any comprehension how I'd ended up where I was in my life with this horrible, twisted up, fucked up situation. And it's like that in life and in business. People don't realize how they end up in these shit situations because of decisions that they've made, not anything that, their dad did when he was 12 years old or fucking somewhere in the school. This is down to your decisions. And once you kind of suss that where you end up in your life and your business is a direct result of your decisions, you'll start making better decisions faster, which is my core fucking cornerstone of everything I teach. Make better decisions faster. And I can help people make decisions like that, no matter how difficult and traumatic it is.
The thought that was gone through my head just as you were speaking then was, all the experience that you've got right now, there's a whole bunch of people that are engaging with us on PopUp that are at home, job at risk, furloughed at best or worse than that. Hey,
being furloughed's fucking ace. Fucking best, honestly, the greatest soft landing known to man. Anyone who's sat there, fucking, I wonder if I've got a job when I go back, you're a fucking idiot. Use this time to start a fucking business off, for fuck's sake. It's like the greatest gift ever. It's like this, like fucking, I'm not religious, but it's like God's fucking message to say, sort it fucking out.
Yeah, that's the moment, isn't it? You won't get another moment like this.
Oh, I guess, mate, this is the gift.
What if you're someone that's never run a business before? That thing where you go, what you were saying about, you're waiting for business to come to you, which I think many of us have been through that. So I went through that stuff in 2003 to about 2005. I'm still waiting for the yacht and the Ferrari to turn up. It never showed up. What advice would you give to someone? What would you say to someone right now? Because when I watched your show reel and we've chatted before, I always come out of those conversations feel like, I don't know what I've been doing in my life. I need to get on with it. You know, what's a Brad moment of you know, a nugget that you can deliver to people right now that are struggling to, you know, we haven't got the same pressure that you've got at work when you're working for someone else. There's no boss breathing down your neck. So, you know, what's the message for these people?
Okay, so this is my motivation. If it was left to me, right? If it was left to me, all I'd do is just sit there smoking bongs all weekend, right? That's the reality of it. So my children came along, and all of a sudden, it was no longer about me anymore. And that's what you've got to find. You've got to find something that is greater than you. And if your only motivation is money, oh, I want to 10x my life and get a jet. Well, you ain't getting a fucking jet. You're from Rotherham, right? Fucking give it up, right? So, but what you can do is you can fucking sort your life out and actually ask yourself a question. What decisions have I got to make right now so that in a year's time, I'm going to be happier? And go and do that, because I'm telling you, people will be waiting and waiting and waiting. I was 31 or whatever it was, 30 years old before I decided to set control. And I've never once starved to death. Has it been tough? Yeah. You know, is it as tough as somebody going through furloughing now? Probably. But once again, you know, put it in perspective. Any kind of adversity that you've ever overcome in your life, no matter what it is, I need you to put it in as a effectively a way of bolstering you. So I'll give you an example. So if you've got a bill going out in 3 weeks' time, or your mortgage is in 2 weeks' time, and currently you've got no fucking money, if I was to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate that as a problem? You know, let's say you say it's an 8, okay? Then what about if I got 2 guys from Salford to put a death threat on you, put your bullets through your fucking window and threaten to chop your head off with a machete? Your 8, is that still an 8, is it? Or do you think that might have moved down a little? So the point I'm making is it kind of allows you to recalibrate your panic needle. So put it in perspective, right? Like, honestly, is there anyone in this room who swap places with someone who's in an ICU who's a millionaire, right, on a fucking ventilator? You know, I'm a bit fucking hardcore, but I'm saying this, like, nobody on that basis. So therefore, someone in a ventilator would swap financial position with you to get themselves off that. So this is what I'm trying to say, that what we've got, life, it's like the biggest fucking computer game known to man. You can do what you want, right? If you want to go and jumping over fences, you can do that. If you want to go and fucking ask someone out for a date and they blow you out, you can go and do that. If you want to go and get married after meeting someone for 2 days, you can go and do it. You can do what you want in this world. But what we've ended up doing, we've ended up conforming and going, oh, well, you need to date somebody for fucking 3 years first, then get engaged. No, fuck it. If I want to get married after 2 weeks, fuck it. And it's your life. You know, there's no Haynes manual about what life should be. And actually, just because what works for me in my life doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you or your life or whatever. Live your life the way that you want to do it. And I'll tell you something, right now, right? You know, I retired when I was 42, fucking retired. I lasted 3 months of playing PlayStation games and going to the gym, right? We need to belong. We need to do something with our life and have purpose. Now, if you're, you know, when you're a kid, you want to be a ballerina, you know, or a fucking train driver. And then somewhere along the way, you're doing fucking 15 years in the council job, hoping you're going to get fucking furloughed or fucking made redundant in some shit job as you get older and older and older. And you don't want to leave because you've got 15 years of redundancy. So now you're now doing 25 years and hoping that you're going to get, fuck's sakes. It's like fucking no dry run. You know, this is what people seem to think. People seem to think that death happens to everyone else. People seem to think that fucking luck happens to everyone else. There's no luck involved in any of this shit. Do you reckon it's been fucking lucky that I've ended up with a fucking £1,000 fucking picture behind me? Now, bear in mind, I didn't buy a £1,000 picture. It was fucking bought as a load of people put money together.
Smart move.
Smart move. Yeah. Right. But the point I'm making, like, what the fuck? That happened as a result of getting shot at. That happened as a result of starting a business off. That happened as a result of delivering pizzas. That happened as a result of me not being a twat. So there's all these factors here that are so, that where you are in your life right now, but don't beat yourself up because you didn't know any better. I didn't. I thought I was living okay. Living in my masonette, my big fucking cellar. And it was only when I realised that actually what I wasn't doing, I was confusing fun with happy. So, you know, I went to, great example of this. So I went to IKEA. I had one room in my house that was like immaculate. Well, I say immaculate. I had a big telly in there, like a bed set upstairs, my 2-bedroom masonette. The rest was a shithole, right? So I remember going to IKEA and walking around IKEA, and actually I picked up a lamp, turned over the label, 65 quid. I thought I would pay 65 quid for a fucking lamp. Get to fuck. And then that evening I spent 80 quid on cocaine. I woke up the next day, the house is a shithole, and I've got no lamp. And that was indicative of my life because of what I was doing. Is everything was short term. And the reason it was short term, let me just follow it back. The reason it was short term is because when you've been shot at and you're told you're going to get killed, You're living every day like it's your last. You're in fear. So you're not thinking about fucking 5 years' time or what you're going to do for your pension fucking scheme. You're thinking, how can I get some alcohol to get away from this pain and fear? And now before you know it, and 5 years on, the actual fear is still, the threat's gone away. The fear is no longer there, but the drinking is. And you end up creating this fucking thing, and you kind of forget where you intended to be, because now you're masking. You forgot that you've changed your life, and now you're still behaving like a fucking idiot because of these things. And I tell you something, it is down to decisions. Where you end up in your life is decisions, and the reason we don't make decisions in our life is we're scared of the wrong ones. Oh, no, I'm getting fucking abused at home, or don't want to leave because I might not find anyone else. What the fuck? It doesn't get any better. You know, you're doing a shit job that you ain't feeling. Trust me, it ain't gonna magic its way fucking better. So at some point, unless you decide to change and make decisions, brave decisions, because the longer you run, the weaker you become. So you have an opportunity right now with the rest of your life to either one, let the fucking clock run down. And it is running down, because here's the thing. It goes one fucking way, people. I can't put extra time on it like I can with a fucking thing. It goes one way. You are the youngest that you're ever going to be right now, right? You're never going to have any more time. So as that time starts going down, it becomes more valuable. When you're a kid, you can fucking live in for 100, aren't you? But then you're 90, you know, every day is more precious, yet nothing's changed. That's still a day is a day. But because you've got less of them, it's now more valuable. So I think this is what goes on. So I say to you people, make the decision to start a fucking business off right now. If you're furloughed right now, right? You're furloughed, fucking make the decision to start a business off. Because here's the thing, what I did years ago is I had a situation where I was on, let's say for the sake of this conversation, 30 grand a year, working in London. So with my digs over there, which was £400 a month, I'm now down to whatever I'm fucking down to. So what's that, 48? So I'm now down to 25 grand with my digs. Plus my travel costs, I'm now down to 23 grand. Plus my food whilst I'm away, I'm down to 18 grand. So I'm telling people, when I'm out there, I'm on 30 grand. The reality is I'm on 18 grand, so I might as well be flipping fucking hamburgers over at Western-super-Mare. So when you start taking out your travel costs as well, and your travel time, but you're commuting to work a day for an hour there, an hour back, that's 2 hours, that's 10 hours a week, that's 40 hours a month. So now take your 18 grand, then take the 40 hours, and all of a sudden you think, okay, all I need to do is be on 12 grand, stay at home, and I'm on exactly where I am. So 12 grand's £1,000. Rather than do 250 a week, I've got to do 40 quid a day. I'm going to do 40 quid a day. And these are the kind of moves that you need to do. But what ends up happening is people start going to fucking dickheads like Grant Cardone's fucking place, spending the money that they've not got, seeing fucking jets and Snoop Dogg, and thinking somehow along the way that this is success, because you've got a fucking dickhead lanyard. And that's the way that you need to be as a business owner. No, you don't. It is here. This is where your business starts. This is where it fucking fails. And it's down to getting that right.
Brad, have you always got this much energy? I just try, the reason I'm not being flippant, I'm saying, what's the thing that gets you fired up the most? Like this, Vicky's nodding her head going, yeah, he's always like this. But what's the thing that gets you fired up, and what's behind that?
Injustice. Fucking injustice. I fucking love fighting injustice. I love fighting fucking people who are bullying fuckers. Love it. All right. And this is where I'm at right now. I've got a mission, and my mission was to change the way that business networking was done. Tick, done. My mission was to change the way that business books were written. Done. Tick. My mission was to become a motivational speaker, and actually all these fucking clowns that are selling bullshit courses to fucking people that can ill afford it, selling them certainty, was to go after those fuckers. Well, that's next on the list. And I'm telling you, that's my motivation. I've got everything that I want. I've got every material thing that I want. Everything. Like genuinely. Even down to my fucking 1978 Lego. Stay there.
Kerry doesn't think you breathe, which I love. He's gone for Lego. Look at that. There we go.
1978, proper. So, you know, the reality is, and this is the thing, the reality is I've got every material thing that I want, like everything, right? And it comes to the point now, I say, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll earn a load of money so I can get some fucking gold taps. What the fuck is going on? So my motivation is to make a positive difference to other people. That's what it's about. And actually giving people strength to go, you know what, if a thick twat like me can do okay, and so can you, right? Because this is what I'm saying. Forget what you've been told. Oh, well, I don't have a degree. The degree is made up by someone clever. Someone clever said this is a fucking degree. Right, well, I'll give you a fucking degree. The degree, the University of Brad. You've just fucking all passed out. Brilliant. Get a certificate. Fucking ace. Save yourself £5 grand. Do you see? You don't need this shit. What you need to do is stop talking about fucking doing it and do it. Stop saying I could have, I would have, I should have. Fucking get on with it, or stop talking about it and be honest about it. So in terms of the energy, have I always got it? I don't fucking know. But this is maybe what I talked about this guy when Alan said to me, you know, you realise what a complete nut job you come across. And I went, no, you know.
We served you all right. Look, a couple of questions, and I think we should wrap up. You've been very generous with your time. There's two things that I wanted to cover, and then Jack's going to stick a link to the Pop-Up Business School Survival Guide in there. Hopefully there's some stuff that will be useful, and that's where we're going to post this video and a few bits of content from it too. The things that were in my mind were, I've got a question about vision, because that was one of the three things that you said you had. I'm interested to know how you do that. And I've got a question for you about the public speaking and motivational speaking, that people are interested in your approach to it and what you've learned, and maybe one or two tips on that. So
sure.
Where do you want to go first? Vision?
Whatever, mister. Just a quick one, guys. If you are on YouTube, do follow me on Brad Burton. I've got a YouTube account. I'm trying to push that hard, and there's loads of new content on there. So please look at the Brad Burton YouTube account. Sorry, mate. Go. Sorry, Simon. What's the question? Yeah,
so let's talk about visions. There's a couple of questions. One, I think we got asked by Halima. Halima was really interested to know what's the number one question that you ask yourself. And there's another couple of comments about, you know, spotting opportunities. How do you spot them? You know, how do you what the hidden ones? You know, and how does that link to your vision? You know.
So they're never hidden. They're always in front of you. You just walk past signposts. So when I got offered, you know, the dole woman, whatever, the benefits office, job seekers, all said, start a business off. And I went, me, right? The signposts have always been there. Imagine somebody said to me, Brad, there's an opportunity now. Do you reckon I'd walk past it? If it was the right one, I'll take it. So it's just a case of opening your eyes. The opportunities that are out there right now, the fact that you've contacted me right now, the fact that that we're on here now means there's an opportunity. Now, where some people will go, hi, Brad, just reaching out for you. Yeah, could you help me with business? No, I can't. Right? You know, no, I can't. Because in the greatest respect, what ends up happening is I get swamped with people saying, can you help me with business? And I'll say to them, oh, do me a favor, go and buy one of my books, read it, and then come back to me. Yeah, I'll do that, Brad. They don't buy the book, they don't come back to me. It's fucking great. It's like the greatest way. If you can't be asked reading a book, right, that I spent fucking 18 months writing, that I can't be asked spending 10 minutes on the phone. And it's not me being rude, it's that over the years I've learned this, because I used to get dragged. The reason I unraveled years ago was I spent so much fucking time wiping everyone's asses and helping everyone else. It's like, you know, I used to give me last pound to a big issue salesman. So I'm not being disingenuous. You know, if people want to be mentioned, it's a different ballgame. But when it comes to vision, what you need to understand is where ultimately do you want to be, right? What are the steps to get there? Because even if you lose your way, as long as you never lose sight of your destination, you'll always get there. So that's what your vision needs to be. But if your only motivation is money, and the reason that people have vision boards and fucking court boards, garbage as far as I'm concerned, but vision boards and court boards with fucking, you know, Gucci slippers in there and fucking Lamborghinis and fucking twin staircases and just shit like that, is because people don't know. When you think about that, like I've got a 5-bedroom house here, I've got one room that I don't go in, and actually if I bought a 10-bedroom house, which is one of my dreams that I wanted, I'd have fucking 6 rooms I don't go in. It's like, what the fuck is going on? You end up chasing this stuff that you don't really want because you've seen it on Instagram. You know, want a £40,000 watch. What the fuck? I've got no fucking jewelry, none whatsoever. You know, just got me now band. But it's about vision. You need to understand why. And if your only motivation is is money, it's not enough. So I need you to have a vision that is solid, clear, clarity, but also understand that it's about, in my view, it was about taking my children to Disney World. Right? That's what I promised my kids when I was delivering pizza, to take them. So as long as that's what you need. You need some vision. Money as a goal isn't enough. You need to have a purpose, what you're going to do with that money. In my case, take my kids to Disney World, and also my mum private healthcare.
Yeah, I hear you for that one. So look, one last question from me, and then I think we should wrap up. And you know,
I'm good through the questions. I can bang through the questions. I'm absolutely good.
Yeah. A question about tips for public speaking. I know there's a lot of people that are in this group in the room now that do speaking, that want to do more speaking. You know, give us a couple of the nuggets that you think would help. So
I've got a training day. If you're interested, email pippa@bradburton.biz. I can't remember the days, but I'm doing a Zoom be a better speaker event. So it's an all-day event with me, whatever. By the way, so tips-wise from speaking, you can't skip the steps, right? You get people coming up to me, oh, Brad, I want to be a speaker. You know, I want to speak on the stages like you do. And it's like, okay, and I want to, you know, I want to be the UFC heavyweight champion. So I'm really looking forward to going for the title shot. People get it all fucked up. You think, you know, just because you're good at the gym and you look the part on an empty bag, there's a world of difference between actually opening and going to UFC and Octagon. And that's what I say to people. I said, just because you've got a good story, and people said, oh, I've had people approach me say, I've got a story that needs to be heard. By who? You know, by who? Well, people, it'll change people's lives. Well, okay, what are you going to do about it? Well, you know, how do I get speaking gigs? Or I've been told I can pay $5,000 to go to nonsense. What you've got to do is you've got to start small. Right? Start small. Concentrate on the small picture and the big picture will paint itself. So many people have got this big idea about what their fucking life should be. And it's like, nah. For me, I've spoken over 2,000 times in public. 2,000 times. No training whatsoever. And the amount of times that I've died on stage, like literally 45 minutes you're speaking and you're 20 minutes in, you've got nothing, no audience, you're getting nothing, and you start getting stage fright and you lost it, your mouth starts getting dry. And you've got to be prepared to do that. So I would rather people died in a small show where there's supposed to be like 40 people in the audience and there's only 7 people sat around bored. That's when you've got to practice. And people don't want to do that. People don't want to do that. People don't want to speak 2,000 times. They just want to go straight to the top. So, you know, I've got clients, JCB, Costa, Bentley. These guys, do you reckon that if I'd have phoned them up day one and said, hiya, I'm Brad Burton, you know, I've got a story that really needs to be told. Can you hire me? What do you reckon they'd have said? Oh, sounds interesting. Send me some stuff. Boom, get back to you. As it happened, they found me. So this is what you need to do. You need to create the conditions where people find you rather than you finding them, which is, you know, and it's a whole lot easier to get booked for Costa when you've been booked by JCB. But the way that you should do this with any speaking career is you can't speak in front of a mirror. Talking to a mirror, that's a fail. Talking to the wife or husband, they just start laughing. You want to end up having an argument with them. So, you know, this whole thing, you have to start somewhere. Start speaking at networking events. Start speaking at any events that you can do, and do it for free until such a time when actually somebody offers you some money, at which point now you know that you're ready to roll. And be yourself. And be yourself. People are so, you know, looking at what other speakers are. You know, there's a guy out there, and I'm not even giving his name, but, you know, he's copying my style. It's like, all right, you know, it's just like, he just looks a fucking twat. In the same way, if I try to be posh, you know, it's like, stop. Be you in your speaking career. And if people don't like you for being you, next.
Very beautiful. Brad, look, I think, is there anything else that you wanted to share with everybody whilst we've got you? We've got the YouTube link in there. I think one of the guys have posted that. We've got the link to 4N, for networking online. We've got that in there. Look, I want to say thanks very much. I feel like, you know, that moment when you stick your head out the window and you're in the back seat of the car and the car's doing, you know, 90 miles an hour. I feel like we've all had a wind blast of Brad. And I think, you know, this is exactly the sort of stuff that we need. It's a sense of urgency, which when we're in these bubbles in our houses and this really weird time that we're in, you know, just reigniting the flame and a sense of urgency. And that's the bit that I'm taking for this. So thanks so much. And it's all good.
If you're on Twitter or anything, find me on all the socials, people, and just follow me. Kerry Barton, I actually thought it was my wife, because my wife's called Kerry Burton. I'm looking there thinking, shit, she's on. So Kerry Barton has said this here: fake it until you make it, or would you have another saying? I do, actually, as you'd expect. Mine is this: if you can do the job, you're qualified. When it comes to running a multi-million-pound business, I can do a job and qualified. When it comes to writing books, I can do the job and qualified. When it comes to motivational speaking at the highest level, I can do the job and qualified. And this is what you need to do. You do not need permission from me or any single person or a degree or a piece of paper or you know, or a certificate in order to do what you're going to do. Bosh. And I'm sorry if I'm old enough to be your dad. That's terrible. That's terrible. Wounded.
Well, look, there's people here from 4 different countries, the ones that I know about, and you know, shout out to those that have joined us and to everybody else that's on this. And I think the exciting thing, of course, is that we're not, you know, with the 4N online stuff, you're not limited to the meetings anymore. That
mate,
we're going global, baby, and it's happening quickly.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing with it. That's the thing with this whole thing. Look at this. How cool is that? This is my village. How good's that? Look at that. But no, the thing is with it, please do check out this for nonline.biz. I mean, genuinely £5, so €6 or whatever it is, to try a meeting, and you can visit twice. And then, like I say, we've lowered the price by 42%. We've lowered the meeting cost by 53%. I think the figures is, we've just like, this is going to go mass market. And I'm going to give you a quote right now that you can look back on this time when I'm on CNN, and you could go, fucking hell, he did say that, didn't he? We were going to be regarded as the Facebook of business networking. Mark my words there, the Facebook of business networking. You heard it first. And when it happens in 3 years' time, when actually for networking online is being picked up for 8 billion quids, and you see me there wiping my ass with £50 notes and doing donuts in a Lamborghini, then you can say, oh, remember. That was for the bingo massive, by the way. I put that in there. But no, I'm joking. But I do believe that we will become the Facebook of business networking. I really do. Truly, I think we're onto something, and we're on a curve, and it's really is the hottest ticket right now. It's the thing that people are all talking about.
Brad, I wish you the best of luck with it. I know we're going to have a conversation about how we can link the Pop-Up Business School stuff to what you're doing. We're launching 3 online courses. We've got 3 planned for the next couple of weeks, about 5 weeks' time. And there's going to be a load more. And I'm sure there's something else that we can do there and provide opportunities for people to make business friends. And
I'd love that. I mean, like I say, that is such an obvious fit for us, and you'd be most welcome. Let me get you on a meeting next week. Caroline, can you get Simon onto a meeting, please? Get him onto a meeting. There you go. And Al, can you get him onto a meeting as well? You've got your meeting as well. So there's a couple of people that are going to get hold of you, get you onto the meeting. And I'll even waive the first one, so you don't have to pay the £6 for the first one. The second one, you can pay the fucking £6. So on it.
Every day I'm hustling. Look, I don't mind paying. It's fine. I'm in. Count me in. I'm in the game.
Good man. Good. We'll get you along. You can see.
Yeah, nice one. Look, Brad, thanks very much. It's been one hell of a week. Enjoy your weekend. Put your feet up, have a rest, or maybe not. There's still stuff to do. But look, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to post the video, and apologies again for the start where we had a little bit of a thing with the thing and the thing, but that was all sorted and we jumped on, and that's brilliant. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking part, and we'll see you again soon.
Cheers, squad. In a bit. Bye.